couple of players from our team that you would want to have in your team, which two players would you pick? Tracking back, there were issues even in the past. Certain manager who was also bald, by the way. Back in 2021, I think it was the Euros, if I remember right, Doug and me actually discussed there, and I was like a huge Gravenberch fan, if you remember. Doug has just been successful in making me feel old.
You lost 4-1 to Celtic, and I remember a lot of like pundits and media were saying, "Oh, look, this is the defeat to Nottingham Forest. I think will give you a lot of hope because obviously the last time we played after an international break, we did lose to Nottingham Forest."
Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, your fan channel for all to see, and this time this is the game. I think the perennially annual Blues versus the Reds, rather Reds versus the Blues, which we know goes into a stalemate, but a stalemate which involves a lot of drama, some kind of controversies. There is some kind of rivalries from the past as well, but for whatever reason, it has a lot of talking points, and this time both the teams are in form. Let us see what is going to happen, and we have a special guest to discuss the same and more, so stay tuned till the very end. Here we begin, guys. Lots to discuss. Hello, welcome Doug, always here, the OG of the channel, and you must have noticed the friendly relations that me and Doug have. We tend to kind of be nice, but this is not time to be nice, and I have put Doug on the Chelsea side and myself on Liverpool side, but that is only to start. I'm going to go the other side. I'm going to put you on the other side. Doug, how are you? Of course, very positive considering the start that you guys have had, top of the table. But Liverpool, Chelsea, what is it? As you must have heard me, what is it about this tie that always gets you some drama, right?
First of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be back on. And yeah, this fixture, it has a lot of drama. There's obviously been a lot of rivalry involved. I think it's a rivalry that is like intensifying. I think it is getting bigger and bigger. We can't seem to stop playing each other, especially like last season. We played 3 times against each other. Yeah, Liverpool, Chelsea. I obviously remember Mourinho versus Benitez. I think we can all remember that as well. By the way, it's coming up to 20 years, I think, next year. That is the ghost goal.
As well as, of course, the Gerrard own goal. Let me just put it there quickly. In 2005, literally yesterday, and you're right. Doug has just been successful in making me feel old, but that's what it is. We are one of those nostalgia, football kids that we used to be that time. But honestly, Doug, I think you're right. The rivalry is there, and I think I term it as not really bitter, but at the same time, rivals proper, which is underrated. But now that you're flying with honest lot, as in the first question that I have for you, of course, while we discuss the tactics and a lot of things that I need to ask you for sure, but honest lot, as a Liverpool fan, getting into the season, I'm sure you were circumspect about how things will go after the Jurgen Klopp era, but it has gone smooth. A lot of people also saying that you've had easier fixtures, and we'll talk about the fixtures because it is a difficult calendar following month that we have as well. But what is the one thing which stands out for you?
I think this start to the season has been, almost perfect. Obviously, the defeat to Nottingham Forest, I think, will give you a lot of hope because obviously the last time we played after an international break, we did lose to Nottingham Forest, so that might give you a little bit of hope. But I think when you look at our side, it's relatively the same side. But I think what Arne Slot's brought in. He's brought in like a more sort of calmer style of football. Like we seem to be building up from the midfield, whereas obviously with like Klopp, it was like heavy metal football, always going out to the wings. But I think you see now we're more resolute defensively. I think we're looking really, really good in the midfield. I think Gravenberch has been one of the picks of the summer so far. He's been absolutely outstanding in that central.
Doug, I'm going to cut you there just for a second. Back in 2021, I think it was the Euros, if I remember right, Doug and me actually discussed there, and I was like a huge Gravenberch fan, if you remember. As in, time flies, right? Wow, it's been 3.5 years. Doug, talk about flashbacks. We used to discuss that. I exactly remember. Pretty sure, Doug, finally I'm going to get my due there, but please have Gravenberch not perform for this game. Like, this guy is changing the midfield, right, for you. But now that you know that he's the main guy, all of a sudden you look like utilizing players a little bit more than what you were, ironically, under Klopp. So is that also one more thing? And I agree with you that one thing is that he's not changed it much, and which is, I think, probably the best thing that you could do as a new manager. Although in our case, and we'll come to Enzo Maresca, we have probably done more of that, and it still worked. But also, I think he's been sure about he's been picking. Arne Slot. If you think about it, one would have anticipated by now there would have been so many rotations, because you are playing multiple competitions as well. But surprisingly, and good for you, that Jota has been fit and he's been continuing. Darwin Núñez has not got many starts, for example. On the other hand, if you see Enzo Maresca, like, again, if I have to give my 2 cents, Enzo Maresca, the best part is, like, despite all the things happening in the media, and things that happen, negative things happen in the media, all the while, if you're a Chelsea fan, and otherwise as well. But he has brought not just a calm, but also he's been very sure about whom he's picking. So he has been very clear about people like Chilwell and who were leaders in the past. They may not be part of the core team, but again, the communication has been clear. He's been rotating for Premier League. He knows this is 11. Cup games, this is 11. So I think that has probably worked with the new style of football, which probably needed more so, right? But if you have to pick Enzo Maresca's quality that has come across well, as again, I'm kind of glad he's finally speaking things which he actually feels, which he initially felt he was speaking what the directors wanted him to speak. But I think pretty sure he's a typical Italian manager who generally do well for Chelsea, right?
Yeah, like I think you've been a big surprise this season. I've seen, obviously, like in the pre-season, a lot of people were saying, like, oh, like what Chelsea have done. Like, I remember you lost 4-1 to Celtic, and I remember a lot of, like, pundits and media were saying, oh, like, this is the start of another Chelsea car crash. But to be fair, barring Manchester City and barring sort of a couple of, like, draws at home recently, you've been really good this season. I mean, Cole Palmer for me has been one of the players of the season so far. He is just on absolute fire. So yeah, we're gonna have to watch him. I've been very impressed with Madueke. He seems to be making his moment in the team very, very well as well. And I think as well, you look at, like, defensively as well. I think Cucurella has had a good start to the season. I know he's missing for this game because of the suspension.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the check must have reached Nico Williams, making sure that he gets his 5th yellow card, and of course a certain referee. But I hear you absolutely. And Cucurella is missing. And let's get into the game now that you speak about that, because for me, again, that Cucurella part is very interesting. And I know Renato Vega arguably has been, at least for us, one of the signings of the season in terms of value for money. But again, has it been tested as much? You're talking about dealing with Mo Salah. Come on. We should know more than anyone how Mo Salah is. And I think Cucurella will be sorely missed in this particular game being suspended. That is one area that surely you're going to attack, because it's not just him, but also Enzo Fernandez, who's been traveling internationally in the international break and coming back, drifting on the left-hand side. Sancho, as good a signing he's been as well. We all know that tracking back, there were issues even in the past. Certain manager, who was also bald, by the way, coincidentally did not like him for that. But we spoke about briefly about the midfield, about Gravenberch factor. What do you think? Like, which will be the battle that you're looking forward to most, and you feel whoever wins that battle will probably, have the edge to this game?
Yeah, I think it could be a battle of the midfields on Sunday. Obviously
Palmer versus Gravenberch, for all we know.
Palmer versus Gravenberch, yeah. Obviously Gravenberch against Enzo, and obviously McAllister there as well.
Enzo, that is also their rivalry.
I've got to say as well, Diaz has really impressed me this season so far. He has actually played a very, very well recently. I think Cucurella is a big mess. I think he had a very, very good Euros for Spain. And I think when you look at it, I think we will probably target your left-hand side. I think you're absolutely spot on with that. You'll probably target our right-hand side as well. It's all about, Trent. A lot of people have been saying that, he seems to have one mind on maybe Real Madrid, but yeah, look, he along with Van Dijk and Salah are definitely the contracts. We need to get them sorted. But yeah, what I will say about this game is that anything can happen on this game, and I think when we are both on. I think when it comes to this game, definitely form goes out the window when it comes to this game.
My point being that out of the last 9 times that we have faced each other, I know that we haven't beaten you since 9 games, and that's for real, guys, including 6 Premier League games. But out of those 9 games, in 90 minutes, there was only result once. It's like almost cancelling each other out. There's something about it, right? And again, match on Sunday will probably give something different, because I think it's a point where Liverpool are, I think, already the big horse, and we are wanting to be the little horse. Although I know Liverpool fans try and play it safe, but I genuinely believe that if you win on Sunday, and I know we don't want that as Chelsea fans, but I think if you win on Sunday, it's a huge statement, right? Despite it being at home, it is. And because we are the form team, like you said, the Premier League Manager of the Month, Premier League Player of the Month. But on the other hand, I actually don't like those awards as much as sometimes you don't get those over the years, because there's a curse, right, as you say. And like you said, international break, after and before, we also stumble. So something's got to give, is what I'm saying. But if we get a result, which we haven't from 9 matches as a Liverpool, I think that's a statement in itself, because as much as we've been flying, we haven't been tested either from, versus a top team. Again, Palmer is one obvious player, but if, just hypothetically, a Liverpool fan has to pick another couple of players from our team, we won't do a combined 11, let's not go there because we're not there yet, but a couple of players from our team that you would want to have in your team, which 2 players would you pick?
I've got to be honest, Sancho has really impressed me since he came into Chelsea. I think he looks a player who really didn't get a chance at Manchester United, and I think there was obviously circumstances with that. But I think since he's came into the Chelsea side, he really looks like he's connecting very, very well with Nicolas Jackson and obviously Madueke on the other side. I've got to say, Nicolas Jackson, he has been a big surprise for me. He was ridiculed last season for missing a lot of very, very easy chances.
I call him Darwin Núñez's cousin, lost cousin.
But this season, he seems to be finding the back of the net. I remember one goal, I think it was West Ham away, where he literally gets the ball on the sort of the left hand side, goes past a couple of players, and then plays it past the
He's a good footballer. It's just that the finishing aspect and the decision making is an issue. That's always the case with young strikers, But let's hope for the best. Again, starting 11s we haven't discussed much, because I think they kind of pick themselves. As much as I would want Nkunku scored against you, mind you, although I don't want to remember that 4-1 game, the only one you won in 9 matches. But he scored, but still I don't see Nkunku beginning. I see more or less the same side. Kukurea, obviously the natural replacement in Vega, and Fofana is also suspended. That one I don't miss so much because Tosin is kind of calmer and tall, which we need. But I don't see any other changes. It'll be quite standard. And yours, I don't think there's any reason to fix it if it broke, because you're top of the league, right? But let's go with the prediction. What's your prediction this time around? Pretty sure can't play safe because you are wanting 3 points. I think it is a 6-pointer. Let's keep it real.
I think it might be a very tight game. Last season was an absolute joke. I mean, we looked like we could have easily gone 2, 3, 4-0 up at half time in that game, and I think you were very, very fortunate to go away with a 4-1 defeat. So I think this time, you are looking a lot more resolute. I do think though, Anfield could be a bit of a factor as well. But having said that, we do seem to start slowly after an international break. We seem to be a momentum team at the moment. Seem to have like a bit of a rhythm going, and then it comes an international break and then it goes completely pear-shaped. With that being said, I am going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I think it'll be a very, very tight game, and I think 1 goal will separate them.
Yeah, and you need the points, and so do we. Like you said, you have difficult fixtures. I think we have, of course, not very far off Manchester United. We are playing Arsenal as well as Newcastle a couple of times. You know what? I would love to, say it's a Chelsea win, but can I see that? Realistically, no. But can I see us lose? Obviously, no. So does that mean again a boring draw? No. It's got to have some drama. Liverpool Chelsea cannot go without drama. I am calling, yes, unfortunately, a red card. This time, you know what? I'm not a Chelsea player, but you comment, everyone in the chat, which player will be. But I can see 2 goals each, because after the international break, there will be mistakes, and the equalizer will come late from Chelsea from again an Nkunku goal from the bench. So, guys, this is it. Of course, we would have loved to do more, but we will be joining in the watch along and more. You know what to do. Hit that like. Do not forget to subscribe to the Dugout Football channel. Great content as well as Almighty Sports, not just Almighty Blues. See you up the Chelsea, but all the best to Liverpool for the season. See you, Doug.